The Gulf Coast energy industry's ability to bounce back after a major storm is stronger than ever thanks to a multi-million-dollar investment by Entergy Louisiana. The state's largest utility recently completed building nearly 30 miles of storm-hardened transmission lines that supply power to Port Fourchon and the Loop offshore oil port. These facilities help supply 18% of the nation's oil and natural gas. The projects are part of Entergy's long-term plan to harden its infrastructure and help make the Gulf Coast more resilient.
What Entergy is doing in building resilient power structure is of vital importance to our everyday activity in Port Fourchon. Port Fourchon is the economic engine for our community. It is the lifeblood of our community. And Entergy plays a key role in allowing us to move forward to be the premier oil and gas service port for our country.
The Golden Meadow to Leeville line was built 60 years ago through what was then marshland and today is a mix of marshland and open water. Repairing the line was difficult and time-consuming, so replacing it became a priority. But building new structures posed major challenges for Entergy's engineers.
We knew we wanted to have them closer to Highway 1 for ease of access, and we knew we wanted to have them all out of the marsh if at all possible. So we were able to accomplish that with the design that we had finally come up with. A majority of it, out of the 13.5 miles of the new line, only a small fraction, only a few structures are actually in the marsh outside of Golden Meadow.
To limit the impact to wetlands, construction was done by land, sea, and air.
The poles and the associated foundations were very large and very heavy. Our foundations weighed up to 43,000 pounds. Some of our poles were 150 feet in height, so we required equipment that could handle very large structures and very, very heavy weights.
The team had to create 115 access driveways along Highway 1 so that it could build the majority of the new structures and have easier access to them for future repairs. The remainder of the transmission structures were built with a combination of off-road cranes, marsh buggies, and barges. In all, Entergy spent more than $100 million to increase the reliability of service to the port and all of Lafourche Parish.
Entergy and its people in our community help us to grow economically, help us to grow resiliently on this fragile coastline that we live in.
Port Fourchon is a great example of our commitment to provide resilient service along the Gulf Coast. It's a great step forward, but we can do more. That's why we're reaching out to the communities that we serve to better understand what they're doing and to complement their efforts and prioritize our investments so we can get them back up and running more quickly after a storm. It's not just about providing safe, reliable power. It's about enhancing our economic outcomes and creating a brighter future for Louisiana.